Ladies and gentlemen, it is match point. Google is up 2-0 versus Facebook. If they take a win in game number 3, they will close the series out and secure that number 1 slot in Division 4, where we see that Google and Facebook are neck and neck when it comes to being the leader of that group. All the teams in red right now are currently in top 3 position. If they can maintain those slots, they will advance to the playoffs. For now, I'm Day 9.
And I'm Rob Simpson.
And let's hit game number 3.
Oh, yes. Now, game 3 is going to be on Shakura's Plateau. Now, playing for Google, we've got Play-Doh Mask as the Lavender Terran. And his opponent currently ahead to, oh man, I am exactly backwards. Currently behind 0-2. He's fighting. He's up against the wall. This could be the clutch player, John Oldman.
John Oldman from Facebook. His name may or may not be John Oldman, but the key is that you can always find out all your AHGL action at the website URL to the right on the screen. John Oldman playing for Team Facebook. And like you said, they're down 0-2.
So yeah, what? And you don't want to lose when you're 0-2. You only have one more loss to go 0-3, and then you lose the match.
And you know that's a lot of pressure that you don't want to have on your shoulders. I mean, even though
he's John Oldman.
Yeah, even though he is John Oldman. I mean, if your team does go 0-3, I mean the responsibility is pretty much divvied up a third of the 3 people who caused the loss. But you still feel like you have well more than that percentage on your back. Definitely not a comfortable spot to be in. You have no wiggle room. And whenever you have no wiggle room, you start to make mistakes.
And when you're caught between a rock and a hard place, maybe even John Oldman can't pull through.
That is true. John Oldman now going to go ahead and try to plant that early expand. And as we've seen, people from Team Facebook are very good at all things regarding early expansion. And there it is, the hatch going down. And it looks like Play-Doh Mask from Team Google has this peculiarly placed barracks. Will he go for a second barracks? He might lift it and float it. There's a number of options he has at this point in time, but I think early pressure is going to be pretty heavily abated by that placement.
Oh man, now when you are playing as a Play-Doh Mask, you never know what he's going to do, because maybe he can just mold his strategy into another one. It's just a facade.
That is absolutely a problem that we will see John Oldman up against, but if there is one thing that his fingers are very comfortable with, it is dismantling the pliable Play-Doh-based strategy of Play-Doh Mask, who's going for the early bunker pressure, and it looks like, yes, he was lifting it down to the low ground. Great play there. The barracks is protected while building, and that Marine gets an extra few seconds of hurried walk distance, and it looks like Play-Doh Mask very promptly pulls the SCV off mining and is doing the run around to Ruha.
Oh, but will he be able to win? Now, it seems as though he may have learned a couple of tricks from the Jimbo Limbo from last game, but the question is, did Bingo Bango teach him the secrets of the tango?
But John Oldman from Team Facebook is trying to surround the SCV, but the SCV somehow is a Superman, and he doesn't cancel the bunker. He tried to do too many special ninja tactics, and it is hard to do a ninja tactic when you are not a ninja at all. You're John Oldman.
Man, so unfortunate loss for Play-Doh Mask. That is going to put him just a bit behind, and now his Marine does get up there, but with no bunker to get into, it is forced to retreat. Play-Doh Mask over here, we can see, is using the art of his resculpt ability to blend in with the creep and get free information. Too late. John Oldman cleans it up. He sees right through him.
He treats life and death very malleably, smoothly transitioning from one to the other when the Zerglings show up. Looks like Play-Doh Mask is in fact going for that early expand and has a very nice setup in his main base. Might just comfortably throw down a reactor, go for that slightly delayed Hellion play, and not before killing off an Overlord with the sound on.
Oh, but maybe it's gonna... Yeah, it is looking like that Overlord is probably gonna be able to get away. Whoa. Yeah. Man, there is a lot of extra map down there.
Wow, there's actually a lot of map. I don't know who put that there, but there's a substantial amount of map left around the ring of this map. I mean, hell, why don't you come up to the wonderful lakes of this place up here? It has a tree.
Shakura's has to fit a theme park, man.
That is true.
It gets really hot. You got to go on the slides. Where else are you going to put it?
I mean, you're going to put it up here in this giant acreage of available space. There's a lot of interesting new real estate development happening on Shakura's Plateau, and we'll definitely have more on that for you after this life and death cutthroat match between two teams playing in the After Hours Gaming League for $5,000 to give to the charity of their choice.
Once again, this is Game 3 between Facebook and Google. Man, Facebook is gonna have to really pull through here. Is John Oldman the hero that Facebook needs?
Is he? Is he gonna give the face hook to the jaw of Play-Doh Mask? We're gonna find that out as Play-Doh is moving forward with this pair of Hellions, and it looks like the triple Command Center Play-Doh Mask doing his bomber impersonation. Bingo dingo. Play-Doh Mask now moving forward to the natural expansion. He's gonna run right into a spine crawler, and he manages to escape. And it does look like John Oldman trying to make roaches 6 at a time will be able to do a little bit of counter-offensive action. Oh, Play-Doh Mask. Oh, no. Play-Doh Mask is just now doing the swap-a-rop-a-roo. He has 4 Hellions on the screen right now, but it looks like John Oldman is starting to do the counter swing. Does he have speed? Yes, and he has 10 Zerglings en route. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Play-Doh Mask could be in a lot of trouble.
He's adding on even more Zerglings, and those Zerglings are going to be able to get across the map very quickly. Now, if he's able to get in here and get a little bit of damage onto those Hellions, he's not able to. Now, right now, Play-Doh Mask is really just trying to buy himself a little bit of time, because that is a lot of units to defend against.
Holy crap, that is a lot of roaches literally pulled out of nowhere. John Oldman, the Houdini of units, now's trying to step forward. It looks like he's trying to get all his roaches in there to do the damage that he needs, and it looks like it's in the orange, it's in the red. It's still in the red, it's still in the red. He's got it in the red. Oh, this is just terrible news. And in the meantime, it looks like the Hellions swinging into the backside and doing massive damage to the worker line. John Oldman now trying to pick off absolutely anything he can. John Oldman.
Oh, John Oldman.
Oh, Jonathan Paul Oldman. Lost a lot of units at the front, losing a lot of drones at the back. God, that bunker save was phenomenal from Play-Doh Mask. He is in gloriously good condition. We see 17 drones being produced to help replace the 7 that were lost. That will give him a surplus of 10. The AHGL is educational.
And over here we see additional barracks being added on for Play-Doh Mask. But will it be enough to meld his opponent into a losing pile of Facebook?
Looks like John Oldman will be the only person who can answer that question for us. We see the triple gas addition going on, and surprisingly, it looks like our Terran buddy is still struggling to get his feet into an offensive position, such as in the shape of a kick. He's trying.
Kicks being the most offensive position for your foot to be in.
Yes, that's a very. I look at it and I'm like, that is offensive, and. Even though he has a great defensive structure set up with all these Marines and tanks and a clearly immortal bunker.
Unlike a kick.
I mean, it is true that the Terran player cannot really do any offensive action until he gets that stim and combat shield finished. So he's getting an amazing economy going and has a great defense, but John Oldman actually has a little bit of free time.
Oh, yes, and over here we see Play-Doh Mask getting a little bit of information on his opponent. He most surely does see the Baneling Nest and the Spire adding on in the main out there, and now he's also adding 2 Evo Chambers.
And you know, this I think is a real testament to John Oldman's just general solid play. Even though he lost so much in that exchange with the run by Hellions, with the Roachling not being able to break the bunker, we still see that John Oldman is doing a brilliant job spreading his creep. He's taking his 3rd expansion. He has all the structures back home that he needs, even getting the double Evo chamber, the macro hatch. In that unit station, we see that he doesn't have the drone count that he really wants, and that's a result of that early attack and the early Hellion swing in.
Oh man, and Play-Doh Mask over here is really just starting to mass up those units. Oh wow. John Oldman adding on an unsightly amount of Zerglings there, and he's also going for his Carapace and melee upgrades.
Now it looks like his Spire's done. He doesn't really have enough to start pooping out a ton of Mutilisks. He can only build 4 right now. Excuse me, I was looking at the wrong set of money. He can actually build a lot of Mutilisks, Rob. Look at that.
He could build many of them. He still hasn't started them quite yet. Maybe he just doesn't quite have the larva. Oh, man. That money scan finding the 3rd. And John Oldman is now adding on 7 Mutilisks.
7 Mutilisks en route, spending all his minerals and gas on that. except for this 1,000. Gotta work on that commentary on the money
Whoa,
tab.
14 drones. John Oldman.
John Oldman having the soul of Liquid Ret and the fingers of John Oldman. Doing this build, this is all him in the game right now, and it looks like he's doing a great job spreading the creep. I mean, this is a very impressive recovery from John Oldman, but the scary aspect of the build we're seeing Play-Doh Mask do is that first huge push when this command center goes off to the third base.
Oh, man. And will John Oldman be able to hold? He actually... Now, the very commendable John Oldman has a very nice creep spread.
I mean, it's just
It's looking
incredible.
real good. Those John Oldman fingers, man. Legends have been told about their prowess, and they're succeeding.
Looks like Play-Doh Mask getting ready to move out. He doesn't have Combat Shield yet. He doesn't have Stim yet. Oh no, this is exactly what we were talking about before, Rob. The fact that he was so delayed in getting those key upgrades means that he had virtually no ability to have both of them done for this first attack. So right now, John Oldman actually just finished +1/+1 for the Zerglings. Just finished the Centrifugal Hook upgrade, and there's the Banelings coming in. But it looks like Play-Doh Mask is not gearing up to attack. He is...
Heyo, that could be John Oldman calling
My God,
for Play-Doh.
That's the police calling me, saying there's going to be an emergency coming up soon. Whew, saved it. We do see John Oldman now massing up a good bit of Banelings, and here come the Mutalisks into the third expansion.
Oh, man, and those Mutalisks are going to have a few free kills. Now, will Play-Doh Mask be able to get over there? He does not opt in for the stim, and it's looking like Facebook's John Oldman is able to pull back with all of his Mutalisks. Oh, we still don't see that Combat Shield upgrade started, unfortunately, for Play-Doh Mask.
Oh no, he's swinging in. He's going to have to stim, but he is in a very bad corner. The Banelings are streaming in. Will they connect? They're trying to get there. Oh, detonating and killing off so many of those SCVs, chewing their way through the tank line, and bam. Only a handful of Marines remain, but he didn't get the orbital command. That would have been a huge win. 28 Marines on the map, down from over 50, and a hive coming in for John Oldman. Brilliant response by the Facebook Zerg.
Yeah, will John Oldman have enough time to get his Broodlords onto the field?
I think that he should be able to. I mean, it's all a question of what his Mutalisk count is doing. It's actually 0. He has not Mutalisks right now, which means that these drops are going to be all the more effective. With Mutalisks on the field, you can easily control space, but once you start transitioning to that Broodlord tech, you can't really control the drop so much. I love this expo placement from John Oldman. If you're going for something really speedy like Mutalisks, sure, take the top right. But if you have a slow, clunky army, take the center expos so you can defend him, and that's exactly what John Oldman is doing.
Oh, and Play-Doh Mask is now unloading all of his Marines out of the medevacs. I can only assume that he's going to go down for that third now. Was he able to get the information? Oh, does not see the fourth and the fifth, and does move down right into the third. He stims, gets down there, and currently this is completely undefended. But John Oldman with a great response.
John Oldman wrapping right around the Marines, and Play-Doh Mask and Infestor pops out, but is unable to get the fungal growth to nab it, and there he spots a base hiding up on the top right. That is not a fourth, that is actually a sixth base, because here's number 4 and here's number 5, making this number 6, etc. We see the Play-Doh Mask will be able to deal a good amount of damage. John Oldman cancels.
Oh. And we still actually don't see that medevac cleaned up quite yet. He's actually just able to load up and ride away with the majority of his forces with a very effective push. Oh, getting down a last final drone, and that Marine is staying to get all the information that he can. Now, Play-Doh Mask still doesn't know about that 6th base down there, but I don't think that he needs to right now.
Oh, and it looks like a couple Mutalisks made by John Oldman. Great play there. Very difficult to time the late game Mutalisks. Very easy to get into that trap where you're doing nothing but building, nothing but Broodlords. And oh my god! Oh! A big fungal and a big refungal. See you later, Mariners.
Wow, all pretty much stopping that push dead in its tracks. Without the Marines to back him up, he might not be able to push that further, but of course, he has additional Marines to continue the push. Now, Play-Doh Mask is starting to work his way across the map. If this match continues too much longer, Play-Doh Mask could be in a really rough... Oh, man, landing the money fungals.
Huge fungal, and it will be another one. He does manage to land it, and with a stim... dissipating. We see the lives of the Marines dissipate with it. And in this unit station, we see that there is not that much on the field right now for John Oldman. In that Army Supply tab, we see it is a mostly pink bar. So that means that right now John Oldman with his Broodlords is going to have to be primarily defensive. And look at that, how bold. Still making drones, Rob.
John Oldman does what he wants, man. He's just not worried about it. He knows that he's going to have the Broodlords out on the field, so maybe he is prepared to defend. He also has those 4 Infestors as well, and as we can see, he knows exactly how to use Fungal, so he's not too worried about an attack. Oh, man, and the Broodlords are going to be able to start their assault across the center of the map.
Oh, and they're swinging in with a couple of those Broodlings. The Banelings try to move forward, but a huge tank blast annihilates the majority of them right now. Play-Doh Mask from Team Google is looking very comfortable. He just needs to deflect this big Broodlord push. If he can run under and pick these off, I mean, John Oldman will essentially crumble.
And now it looks like Play-Doh Mask just wasn't feeling confident with the amount of Marines he had to run over there. Oh, wow, and Play-Doh Mask is actually loading up his Marines and going for another drop elsewhere.
Oh, no. Did he just sacrifice the center position up in the top right? We do see there's a single lone Marine there. And now all the Marines in the medevacs are being chased down. Hunted medevacs, a brand new Magic the Gathering card. Looks like they are going to try to find their way up to this top right side. And now they're going to unload at the 4th-ish base of John Oldman.
Oh, but John Oldman, quick with the response, is now moving all of his units over there. Now, if he's able to land a Fungal, this could be devastating. Once again, lands the Fungal. Whoa, gets a couple Banelings in there.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. Everything is coming out to play. I mean, seriously. That was a Fungal Muta Queen. Everything possible thrown at a Play-Doh Mask, now moving into the other 4th-ish base of John Oldman. But it looks like Marines will not be able to withstand the Baneling count.
Wow, and now the Facebook Zerg has just taken the supply lead, and he's also pretty much dominating map control at this point. He is going to be able to take the center of the map. Oh, man, and those look like 3 tanks.
Trying to retreat. Play-Doh Mask does not have enough there to defend them, and it looks like the Corruptor's sweeping in. Oh, Zerglings coming in from all angles, and the 3 Broodlords a mere formality at this point as we see the 3rd base of Play-Doh Mask in shambles.
Oh, now Play-Doh Mask just might not have the dough to defend this.
Oh. John Oldman sweeping in with more Zerglings, and it looks, 5 more Broodlords are en route. Looks like Play-Doh Mask has eliminated most of the workers there at that expansion, bringing 51 workers killed. Oh my God, that is inappropriately high.
But it's just the number John Oldman needs, because this is exactly the position that Facebook wants to be in. They were put up against the wall. John Oldman was having a little bit of trouble throughout the center of that game. Play-Doh Mask put on a lot of aggression, but now John Oldman has really started to take this game into his own hands.
Play-Doh Mask trying to expand to catch up, but an orbital command. Play-Doh Mask had such confidence in his lock hold of the center of the map that he did not make a planetary at that 4th base. It was a great decision until John Oldman broke through with a huge amount of Ling Broodlord, and now John Oldman with these center expansions. Brilliant expanding patterns by John Oldman. Love the fact that he's neglected the top right, because with those slow Broodlords, it's a little bit too difficult to defend against drops, just like what we're seeing Play-Doh Mask do.
Oh, and Play-Doh Mask really needs to stay as active as possible. Once again, landing very nice Fungals. Oh, unfortunately, that medevac was pretty low on HP, so that finished off, and John Oldman's going in there for the cleanup, and meanwhile, across the map, those Broodlords are unleashing massive damage.
Right now, Play-Doh Mask has but a single Viking, a Corruptor there to greet it, and 3 more Corruptor buddies come up with their shanks in hand. And there, it looks like Play-Doh Mask has only Marines to defend, and the Immortal Bunker finally falls. And what a triumphant moment that must be for John Oldman from Team Facebook. John Oldman sweeping his way in a great Fungal and the good game. It looks like Facebook has managed to secure a victory. And they are now at 1-2, but Google is still match point away.
John Oldman did a great job getting Facebook right onto the map right when they needed to. The question is, can Facebook survive another game?
Does Facebook have another John Oldman? Or do they have
another name?
Another player? Let's find out going into game number 4.